I am doing something different today because I've been privileging Facebook, but it occurred to me that I should be looking at YouTube when I stream. Here we go. So this is live. Let me take a look see. Because I can always edit it later.
I'm doing something different today.
All right. So, welcome to Radical Books and Politics. Today, I am reviewing The Brief and Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde by Junot Diaz. Haven't used this frame. Anyway, wait, let me back up. There we go. This is a Pulitzer Prize winner by one of my favorite authors. And the book is really interesting. When I do reviews, I haven't done one in a while, but I like to look at it from the point of view of a writer and the point of view of a reader. And there are some things that I really loved about the craft. Because Junot Diaz, again, is a Pulitzer Prize winner. He's a Dominican writer from the East Coast, and I think he's one of the writers who really captures voice and conflict and does a really brilliant job of character development. Now, you may not always like the characters. In this case, it's a story that's told from various points of view, starting with Oscar Wilde. That's not actually his name, but they call him Oscar Wilde Jr., who tends to be a character in other books. Lola, his sister, Oscar Wilde's sister, and then his mom, whose name is escaping me right now. But essentially, the main conflict of this book is what does it mean to be a true Dominican man? And so Oscar throughout this book is basically trying to get a girlfriend and get laid. But it also tells the stories of Junior, who's he's a machista misogynist, and he's got real issues. And I find it hilarious that he's also an English major. I'm like, why? But the way the story is told is so powerful and beautiful. There are magic real aspects in it that are not like in your face, but there's a mongoose that comes up repeatedly when there are major junctures in the characters' lives. There was a scene which reminded me a lot of In the Time of the Butterflies by Julia Alvarez, where the mom gets brutally beaten. And it is one of the most horrendously violent scenes that really speaks to what happens under fascism, right? And I don't want to spoil it too much because there are other major points in there. But as a writer, I also love how Diaz does this fantastic thing with footnotes, which has really had a beautiful influence on me. Junot Diaz has clearly done his research. He's a content expert because he speaks from a Dominican point of view. Not that he's the expert, but he speaks to a broader context of machismo in the community and how women are treated, right? But the footnotes are just really well done, really intellectual. Explain the history of the Trujillo regime, what the fuku is, which is a running theme that's a curse. I don't know what the fuku was until I read the book, So from that point of view, it's very clear to me that Junot has done extensive research. He's done a lot of work in terms of developing his characters, and the plot just comes together beautifully at the end. And I gotta say that I still struggle, even though I teach this book. I teach it in my U.S. Latin American Lit class. To me, it's a tragedy, but there's still like beautiful elements about the tragedy that leave you with like a glimmer of hope, But as a reader, I hated it because of the ending. I was like, what the fuck, You gotta read the whole thing. But to me, Oscar Wilde is not a fundamentally likable character. He's like this big, fat sci-fi nerd, which, by the way, as a reader, as a nerd, I love the science fiction references. I got them all, dude. Dungeons and Dragons, Star Trek, Star Wars, comics, because I did all that, and I still I love Marvel movies and Marvel comics. But the point is that as a reader, that was very intriguing to me. I also love, as a reader, how Junot Diaz captures the different voices. Beautifully done. I love the cursing in the book. The book moved. It's there were never any boring parts to it. I just kind of wanted to know more and read more about it. But I hated the ending. And at the same time, the more I read the book, I appreciate the ending. It's just that, Oscar Wilde to me is not like a hero. He's, like I said, he's this big fat nerd. It frustrates me that he doesn't know how to love himself. Eventually he'll come to a major realization, but he's not secure within himself. And as a reader, you want characters to have growth. right? And it takes him a long time to get to a point where I'm like, okay, he's kind of getting it, you know. But I highly recommend it. The Brief and Wondrous Life by Oscar Wilde. I recommend all of Junot Diaz's books. They're fantastic. His short work is phenomenal. And I cannot wait. Diaz, if you're watching this, please, please, please write another book, man. We're all waiting. And I loved your nonfiction piece on the New Yorker, by the way. That was so moving. Phenomenal. You can also find Junot Diaz's works in the New Yorker website. He's got a really beautiful science fiction piece called Monstro that I also teach in my creative writing class, but I highly recommend him. And the only reason I gave him an A+, even though it's a Pulitzer Prize winner, and an A++, is because of the ending of the fucking book. Otherwise, I would have been like, boom, A++, but still phenomenal, worth the read, worth studying. As a writer, as a reader, I think you'll enjoy it. Yeah, so that's what I got. I hope you like this book review. And I think I wisened up. I'm like, duh, wait till the thing starts streaming on YouTube and then talk instead of Facebook. So I think I finally got the fucking timings right. Oh! Anyway, do what you love to the max. Read as many books as you can and write on.